Yadav ji to please present Shri Anurag ji a flower bouquet and felicitate him. Next, we would request Mr. Navneet Sehgal to please present the bouquet to our rest of the panelists, and I would request each one of you to have a huge round of applause. I'm your moderator for this afternoon session. I'm Arushi Verma, and now let me call you Shri Navneet Sehgal ji, who's the Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Sports, Government of Uttar Pradesh. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Thank you. It's my honor to welcome all the dignitaries on the stage, Honorable Union Minister of Sports, Information, Broadcasting, Shri Anurag Thakur ji, Shri Girish Chand Yadav ji, Honorable Minister of Sports, Independent Charge, UP Government, and my friends on the dais, particularly Abhinav Bindra ji, Carlos Espelata ji, Suresh Rena, our friend Yonik Kalako, Paul, Benedict, Nidhi Pundir, Richard Barlow, Nasir Hussain, Siddharth Upadhyay, Rashdi Wali. Some of them we have not been able to accommodate on the dais, but they are there in the front rows. And you see, so much interest we got from the corporates and the sports personality. Since 2014, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has laid a big emphasis on sports. You know, sports hitherto was earlier very neglected, and now sports with Fit India and Khelo India is being focus of the attention, and with the result that, you know, UP government has come up with new sports policy. You see, we have a large population, a population of 250 million people, and luckily 56% of them are youth, and we have to target that youth, put them into in the productive uses, create a talent pool where, you know, the state and the country can participate in national and international events. The policies created by Yogi Adityanath ji, that we must reach every village. You see, I am very happy to inform you that we've got 30,000 playing grounds identified in the rural areas of UP. 30,000 playing grounds. And I was telling to my the corporates and the World Bank people that so much potential we have. Every village, we are now trying to get a playing ground for kids to play, to get into the sports activity, get into the positive frame of mind. We got more than 10,000 athletes registered. You see, with 56% of the total population in the youth category, there is a huge potential. And with the policies of the state government, particularly the sports policy, the corporates, you know, we are proposing that we'll promote PPP not only in the sports infrastructure, but also in the training and other programs, performance centers, like Abhinav Bindra ji is here. He'll tell you about what he plans to do in the performance center ideas. Then giving the existing facilities on lease to the sports associations so that they can leverage on it, they can create, improve the facilities, create a big pool of talent. Now, we are in our policy identified the athletes in three categories. One is the developmental stage, the middle stage, and the elite. Now, state government has already set up a club sports fund. That fund is meant, and we have already started giving the cash help to the sports person for their equipment, for their training, for their visits abroad. The state government has earmarked 25 crore rupees for that particular fund. And now in the current year, we are proposing on the lines of Government of India's Sports Development Fund, our own Sports Development Fund of the state government, where we will invite corporates, where we will invite institutions to help us to improve not only the sports infrastructure, but overall sports ecosystem in the state. There's a small AV that I would like everybody to see as a starting point, and then we'll see, we will hear all the speakers. Most of them are here to propose MOUs or sign MOUs, and you will hear from them. आप उन्हीं से ही सुनेंगे कि वो उत्तर प्रदेश में हमारे सारे जो आज मेहमान हैं वो कैसे खेलों में कैसे कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहते हैं, कैसे वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इम्प्रूव उत्तर प्रदेश में कराने के लिए इच्छुक हैं, कैसे विश्व बैंक जो है वो न केवल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बल्कि जो एक ह्यूमन कैपिटल है उसमें स्पोर्ट्स का जो एक अंश है उसको कैसे आगे बढ़ाना चाहता है. This small AV that I would like to play. Yeah.
Let's have a look at the AV, please. The sports AV.
Thank you, and I thank everybody, particularly Honorable Minister, for sparing his time to come here, and all my colleagues, all my friends on the dais for taking out their time. Yeah.
In the glorious history of Indian sports, the state of Uttar Pradesh gave many legends who immortalized UP in sports. Since 2014, the energized leadership of Prime Minister Modi aims to reignite sportsmanship among the young men and women of the state of Uttar Pradesh. With the mission led by CM Yogi to create an affirmative ecosystem and emotion towards sports in the heartland of this great nation, Uttar Pradesh recently went from having 7 gold medals to winning 20 golds in national games the previous year only. This is just a glimpse of our 40% youth's potential that is about to be unleashed. By finding, funding and fueling raw and new talent from a very young age, strictly vetting and dedicatedly guiding them through a technically and scientifically sound training to help each individual get precise preparation and reach peak performance. We already have over 11,000 athletes under new government programs, while expanding it to rural, district and state level, and making sports quota in government jobs more prominent with 2% reservations for athletes, with medal winners receiving positions of DSP and Tehsildar. Launching new funding policies like Eklavya Fund of 25 crore and creation of Sports Development Fund. Apart from policies, the government is also active in building sports oases such as Ekana Stadium, proposed Gorakhpur Sports City, Sports University Meerut, basketball, wrestling and badminton academy, with a bunch of investment opportunities in the new international stadium in Banaras, and even more opportunities in future projects, providing a more systematic training and showcasing platform for athletes and upcoming talents. New sports policies being launched and will emphasis on identifying young talent and nurturing them, train them and give them exposure. Thinking out of the box, the state government has also included esports under the campus while organizing leagues and sporting events on state level. All of these initiatives display the true potential of UP, its untapped youth power, unorthodox policy making and unlimited investment opportunities in the sports sector, accelerating the rate of turning Uttar Pradesh into the sports capital of the future, with the best-in-class infrastructure and sports training facility in the nation, and nurture the legends and gold medalists of tomorrow. So team up for an enthralling experience and let's foster and flourish the fabulous spirit of sports in the young state of Uttar Pradesh, New India's growth engine.
Let's strengthen the sports sector through Uttar Pradesh.
माफ़ करिएगा, वो हमारे बीच में उत्तर प्रदेश क्रिकेट एसोसिएशन के डायरेक्टर युद्धवीर सिंह जी भी हैं, मैं उनका भी स्वागत करता हूं. यूपीसीए बनारस में एक बहुत बड़ा 30,000 कैपेसिटी का स्टेडियम बनाने जा रहा है, उसका आज उनको कागज भी दिया जाएगा। मैंने कहा मैं पहले या
Now I'm going to call about our panelists, and the first panelist that we have is Olympic gold medalist, founder of Abhinav Bindra Targeting Performance Center. Please welcome Mr. Abhinav Bindra with a huge round of applause.
The Honorable Minister for Information and Broadcasting and Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India, Shri Anurag Thakurji. The Honorable Minister for Sport, Youth Welfare, Government of Uttar Pradesh, Shri Girish Chandra Yadavji. The Additional Chief Secretary of the Sports Department, Shri Navneet Kumar Sehgalji. Namaskar everybody, all distinguished members on the dais and off the dais. It is a great pleasure for me to be here in Lucknow today, but I think it is even a greater pleasure for me to see a session on sport being held in an investment summit. I think that is for the first time that is happening in any part of the country, and I'd really like to congratulate the leadership of seeing this and seeing the importance and prioritizing sport. Of course, you know, we're all after economic success, and if we really look at the greatest economic superpowers of the world, they also happen to be sporting superpowers. And I do believe that they've become economic superpowers because sport has had a very meaningful role to play in the development of these societies. Sport teaches the youth, of course, a lot about character. It builds character, it teaches teamwork, it teaches incredible amount of work ethic, and of course, most importantly, it builds values which are driven with integrity and honesty. Sport, of course, can also play a huge and significant role in the economy by generating revenue through various means. Sports events and tournaments and championships also provides a big boost to local economies. The overall impact of the sports industry on the economy is significant and continues to grow as the industry globally expands. India, of course, is on the path to becoming a global sporting superpower. Under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, and our dynamic Union Minister for Sport, Anurag Thakurji, India has received a major boost in its sports budget. We have our highest ever allocation in sport in our country's history. So my congratulations to you, sir, on that initiative. I envision India transforming into a sporting superpower, and I think Uttar Pradesh, as one of the largest states of India, has a pivotal role to play in this journey. We, of course, need to learn and adopt from other nations who have created a sporting culture for excellence and maintain consistency to be at the top of its ladder. Of course, sport also has a very important role in achieving, having a significant role in having a positive impact on the youth and on society. As I said, sport can really help in assisting several of the United Nations social developmental goals. For example, SDG 3 aims to ensure healthy lives and promotes well-being for all. Through sport, people can improve their physical and mental health. SDG 5 focuses on gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. Sport can help break down a lot of gender barriers and promote equal opportunities for women and girls. These are just a few examples on how sport can contribute to the overall development of the state. On a personal level, I retired from sport in 2016. Looking back at my fairly long career of 20 years, I really leveraged a lot on science and technology to improve my own performance. And post my retirement, I have dedicated my life to giving back to the Indian sporting ecosystem and helping future generation of athletes perform at the elite level and try and win medals for the nation. This led me to establish the Abhinav Bindra Targeting Performance Centers, which are state-of-the-art facilities which use cutting-edge science and technology. We really use the concept of STEAM, so we incorporate science, technology, engineering, analytics, and medicine into all levels of athlete development. Over our network of about 15 centers, currently we've impacted close to 15,000 athletes. We envision, through our partnership with the state of Uttar Pradesh, to set up a world-class sports performance training and a sports injury center, bringing in all this cutting-edge science and technology and global best practice from across the world to help athletes at all levels. Also today, the Abhinav Bindra Foundation pledges to take care of all athletes from the state who, in an unfortunate event, get injured, and we will support them through, in case they need a surgery, in case they need rehabilitation, or even psychological support to get them through this difficult period of their sporting career. Again, it has been a great pleasure and privilege to be here in Uttar Pradesh and in Lucknow today, and I really look forward to working with the government to contribute to the development of the state. Thank you very much.
Now we're going to have an MOU signed. Mr. Navneet is going to tell us a little about the MOU. The next, we're going to call on stage Chief Strategy Officer, Dorna, MotoGP, Mr. Carlos Espeleta. Can we have a huge round of applause for him, please?
Thank you. Good morning.
Let's have a look at the AV that has to say something to all of you. Let's welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you. I want to start off by giving the warmest and congratulations to the government of Uttar Pradesh for holding such an incredible event. And thank you especially to Honorable Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh for successfully organizing this incredible investor summit and for allowing MotoGP to have a representation here today. I also want to thank our chief guest, Mr. Anurag Singh Thakur, Honorable Minister for Sport of the Government of India, as well as Girish Chandra Yadav, Minister of Sports of Government of Uttar Pradesh, and Mr. Naveed Sehgal, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Sports of the Government of Uttar Pradesh. Lastly, thank you to our promoter of the first Indian MotoGP event in history, Fair Street Sports. Dorna Sports has been successfully organizing the FIM World Championship since 1992 and created the MotoGP brand 10 years later. We've produced more than 500 events in these 30 years with a yearly attendance of over 3 million people. MotoGP is the biggest sporting event in the two-wheeled industry and the second biggest motorsport championship in the world. This year we will have our biggest calendar in history, and we'll enter the biggest two-wheel market in history here in India on the 21st of September, here in Uttar Pradesh. MotoGP reaches 450 million homes every single weekend, accumulating over 40 million followers on social networks and producing over 22,000 hours of content which is broadcasted live. MotoGP is not just a sport, it represents a global industry of over 2 billion motorcycles in the world. And this year, we are very, very proud to introduce ourselves to the Indian market. Having a race in India is much more than having an event anywhere else in the world. This is why this year, with 21 events in 18 countries, we're opening our biggest year ever. With sprint races on Saturdays, more action than ever, we will be introducing MotoGP Bharat here in September, in the biggest two-wheel market of the world. 18 million bikes are sold in India every year, and 200 million bikes circle the streets of India every day. We have a huge potential to unmask and Indian brands waiting to grow domestically in the global window of MotoGP. And this is an opportunity in both directions, with MotoGP providing a lot of the biggest motorcycle manufacturers in the world all compete in MotoGP, and all are crazy to enter the MotoGP event here in India. The economic impact of the event will see 3,000 international workers travel here for over a week, with the impact of 100 million euros in each single event. Welcoming over 10,000 outside visitors and over 5,000 temporary employment positions created. We expect to have an attendance of over 100,000 people on race day, and 276 international brands waiting to enter the Indian market. This is a huge opportunity for UP industry, with all manufacturers like Honda, Yamaha, KTM, Aprilia, Ducati, and Triumph already producing models here in India, but specifically looking to enter the enormous potential of the UP industry. This is a sport representing a whole industry. When it comes to tourism, MotoGP is all about creating a destination out of each one of our events. We will showcase all of the different destinations that UP has, all of the cities, all of the touristic attractions that the state of UP can bring to the world, and showcase them in front of the 200 million eyeballs that watch every single race. MotoGP works on creating destinations for the tourism, the economy, and the industry. And as they were saying, it's about creating a legacy of the sport throughout the whole society. That's why we have our own program to form athletes, to form riders of the future, creating local Indian heroes to be the future MotoGP stars. We have our own championship promoting Asian stars called Asia Talent Cup, in which Dorna provides a free platform for Indian riders from 10 years all the way to 18 to develop their racing skills and be the stars of the sport tomorrow. Socially, we work on creating a sustainable future. It's not only about the 200 million bikes in the streets of India, it's about the 2 billion bikes in the world, and how we create a legacy for that to be as sustainable as possible. In 2024, we will be introducing sustainable fuels across all the field in MotoGP, providing zero carbon emissions to all the bikes, and making sure that all that technology passes onto the bikes on the street. In parallel, Dorna runs an all-electric championship since 5 years ago, which will be introduced into the MotoGP of Bharat in 2024. Lastly, the sport has proven to grow enormously in this area, with events successfully being held in Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia, where the sport has grown successfully to be the #2 sport in all those countries on television and socially. It proves that it's a demonstrated method to making the sport grow, but especially growing the destination. Thank you to the government of Uttar Pradesh for trusting sport. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Kalos.
MotoGP लगभग 470 करोड़ रुपए इन्वेस्ट करेगा, और ये सितंबर में उत्तर प्रदेश में, पूरे देश में, उत्तर प्रदेश में नोएडा के रेसिंग ट्रैक पे पहली बार ये 10 साल बाद रेस आयोजित होगी. धन्यवाद. थैंक यू.
And now the next panelist that I'm going to call upon stage is known by all, loved by all. So please welcome, please put your hands together for our Indian cricketer, Mr. Suresh Raina.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, UP government, to invite me here. Thank you so much, Abhinav Binda. You're setting up a very good academy here, and all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you, Anurag sir. I still remember when you were BCCI chief. We became a #1 test team. We became a #1 ODI team. We won so many matches. With his guidance, I think now see Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, they are among the toppest in the world, top 5 now. And congratulations to MotoGP. I think it's a very, very good initiative. When we go outside from India, we see a lot of cars and bikes. They're doing a lot of initiative across globe. I think it's a very, very good initiative by UP government to take this forward and make some of the brilliant driver in India. So all the best. And I'm also in part of the Guru Gobind Singh Sports College Lucknow. When I was young, मैं इधर आया था 1998 में. उसके बाद I played for my state, I played for my district. Then I became a world champion, and all my coaches are here. So I think this state has a lot of potential, lot of love, lot of blessing. So I think it's a very, very great initiative, and I'm so happy. I think God has been really kind, and under the Yogi sir guidance and our Honorable Prime Minister Modi sir, I think we have been going to be the world champion very soon. So all the best. Thank you.
Very rightly said. No wonder UP is going to be India's new growth chain. Thank you so much for your time. Next, we're going to call former national basketball player and founder, Fan Code. Please welcome Mr. Yannick Kalokau with a huge round of applause.
Thank you. Honorable Minister of Information, Broadcasting and Sports, Anurag ji, Minister of Sport, Shri Yadav ji, and the additional Chief Secretary, Navneet. You know, a lot of what Abhinav spoke about, the importance of sport for nation building, is something that all of us believe so much in, and it's something obviously that our Honorable PM Modi has called for to help promote sport within India, because it can help national integration. Aside from the growth and youngsters playing sport, it's really encouraging to see the sports sector gaining prominence across India. And it's commendable to see all the initiatives the government of UP has taken to promote sport. What innovative programs around promoting grassroots sports like the ones being done in UP does is it also opens large-scale opportunities for corporates and businesses to collaborate and contribute. The sports sector, as all of us know, has vast economic potential, not just for athletes who will grow up to make a lot of money and be very successful, but it also can create significant amount of job creation, investment in sports science, in infrastructure development, sports management, technologies, equipment, manufacturing, training, etc. Sports leagues, broadcasters, and tech companies are already showing tremendous interest in the sports sector opportunity with one singular objective, which is democratizing access to sport. World-class tech capabilities in India have given rise to multiple engagement avenues for sports fans, and this is also one of the reasons of our existence at Dream Sports. We are one of India's leading sports technology companies. And with every brand under Dream Sports, we are solving one user problem at a time in sports. The role played by Dream Sports and its investment arm, Dream Capital, is focused on enabling growth and focused on making sports better. You know, I've been in the sports industry close to 20 years now. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when I co-founded Fan Code, one of the main focuses of us that we was actually setting was that there was so much of sport interest and sports fandom growing in this country, but a lot of sport continued being underserved. People were playing, people were fighting to win medals in local domestic events, local competitions, but the amount of coverage that was being given to these events was limited. So one of the reasons we founded Fan Code was exactly to solve that problem. So we've been doing, for the first state league with the Jharkhand Women T20, to the India Under-19 women event, which just the team, we just played in the World Cup and actually won it. These are the kind of events which have not got the level of coverage that they deserve. and is something that we've been focused on to try and say, how do you actually build these underserved events and give them exposure nationally and outside India also. New initiatives like Khelo India Games have given more opportunities to athletes to better their performance, and once again we've been thrilled to actually stream significant amount of events in Khelo India Games on Fanco, and will continue doing a lot more. Grass sports is critical to realizing the vision of making India a sports superpower. And I'm confident that initiatives like the Khelo India, which are aimed at grassroots sports development, combined with the power of technology, will help sports reach every nook and corner of the country and inspire millions of children and youth to take up sports. So we are honored at Dream Sports here to sign an MOU with the UP government to facilitate grassroots development and for leveraging technology to develop sports and sporting culture. Being a sporting technology company, we aim to collaborate with the sports department on technology and streaming partnerships to promote sports growth in UP and help achieve the Honorable Chief Minister's vision of making UP and India a sporting power. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Kolako.
ये MOU आपके साथ एक साइन हो रहा है कि जो जितनी हमारी स्पोर्टिंग इवेंट्स हैं ये लाइव स्ट्रीम करेंगे बिना किसी चार्ज के.
Thank you so much for such a commendable thing. Next, we're going to call our Managing Director from the European Business and Technology Center, Mr. Paul V. Jensen. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Thank you very much for that. Dear ministers, co-panelists, distinguished guests, participants here, I couldn't have said it better. Very, very articulate from Aravinda, from Yannick, really, also from you, Carlos, because you are mentioning a lot of the words that I would put in your heads as well. So I guess a bit of repetition is good, because I am also very, very happy to see that an investor summit which talks about trade, economy, technologies, manufacturing, now also focuses on sport. And I think that is incredibly important. And for EBDC, European Business and Technology Center, being a project advisory and facilitation organization, working with European companies, European solutions, European technologies, and Indian counterparts to implement projects in India. And that has, to the greatest extent, been in a lot of the sectors also represented at the Investor Summit, so renewable energy, mobility, biofuels, and now also sports. So I'm also very, very excited about it, although I'm the first, I guess, non-sportsman, really speaking, but I'm very, very happy to do so. Now, what we've done at EBDC is create a cluster. We call it as the Europe-India Sports Cluster. And what we brought together are a lot of interested parties, a lot of actors, all somehow in the space of what Yannick was talking about, whether it's coaching, whether it's grassroots, whether it's stadia, making them sustainable, whether it's creating programs to get kids off the streets and into sports communities, building the facilities, creating governance frameworks that can do that. That's what all these actors are doing together. And that facilitates a lot of investment in this space. Yeah, there's a lot of demand, and I can feel that demand only growing and growing. From the European side, people wanting to join the cluster and saying, hey, India is really, really interesting from a sports perspective. There's a lot of opportunity. And of course, there's a lot of opportunity in UP, which is why EBDC will also be signing an MOU with you, Mr. Navneet Sehgal. Thank you very much for that, because that will also bring and attract investment to UP. I'm also happy to say that obviously, because it's a cluster where both Indians and Europeans are there, everything is aligned with whatever is the thought process at the government level here in India and in UP. So we're talking about Khelo India, we're talking about Fit India movement, we're talking about NITI Aayog's efforts as well. So that also feeds in quite interestingly. And you know, it's no coincidence that sports is becoming on the radar of us all. I mean, it's not only about developing skills for youth and generating business opportunities and the associated benefits of being healthy and being sporty and being active. It is, in fact, today there's a number of about 1 trillion as you know, revenues globally in terms of sports. That's 1%, that's nearly 1% of the global GDP. And in certain areas, you will even see, in certain countries, regions, you will see that that is closer to 5% even. And that obviously includes whatever Yannick was also talking about, the better infrastructure, sports events, sports tourism, research and development, medical treatments, rehab for sportsmen, sports equipment, marketing and advertising, and I can go on and on. And obviously this leads into jobs, this leads into more engineers, more developers, more coaches, more doctors, more commentators, more retailers, the lot. So it's good that we focus on this, and I'm happy to see that India has recognized sport as a sector and is pushing it in the way it's pushing it. And I think you, Navneet Sehgal, you said at one point in time that all work and play will make the state a $1 trillion economy. So let's all work on that. Let's all align our thinking and objectives to do that. And yeah, the Europe-India cluster, Europe-India Sports Cluster is very happy to sign an MOU with you and get active on the ground. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
European Business this Trading Center, they are signing an MOU with us. एक MOU sign कर रहे हैं हमें उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार के साथ कि टेक्नोलॉजी और नॉलेज शेयर करेंगे यूपी गवर्नमेंट के साथ स्पोर्ट्स सेक्टर में और हेल्प करेंगे यूरोपियन कंपनीज को यूपी के स्पोर्ट्स सेक्टर में इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much. Next we have somebody who's the lead economist in the social protection and jobs practice from the World Bank. Please welcome Ms. Benedict de la Bruyere, and please welcome her with a huge round of applause.
Thank you very much. As a lot of people before me, I want to first thank the government of Uttar Pradesh for inviting the World Bank to this session. It's incredibly exciting to be able to participate, and you have heard a lot about the pure economic side of sports, the job that the sector can create. I want to emphasize also that sport can help provide a foundation for the sustainable development of Uttar Pradesh and India, because practicing sports from a young age makes you healthy. It also teaches youth in school the soft skills, the teamwork, the conflict resolution that they will need more and more to succeed in the jobs of tomorrow. And it's not a challenge yet for Uttar Pradesh, but India is aging fast. And to build healthy aging, building this foundation of healthy people needs to start early. So you have a strong tradition in India, and I'm going to say that you need to build on these sports that are already there and take them to the next level. As some of the speakers already mentioned, sport can contribute to several of the sustainable development goals. We've heard about health. I want to also talk a bit about education. In India, a lot of youth drop out of school between primary and secondary, between middle secondary and higher secondary. And a lot of it is because school is not that fun. School is tough. There are other things that are more interesting, and sports can help make schools more engaging, especially boys. They can teach some of these values about persistence, grit that kids need. Unemployment, we've heard about the direct employments, but I also want to talk about the whole sports ecosystem in science, in tourism, in technology, in information and broadcasting. So for these elite athletes to thrive, they need a broad-based ecosystem behind them that can function as a model for them to succeed. Now, let's look at these numbers. On the economy, as my predecessor mentioned, in Europe and in China, we're speaking about $300 billion, and we're speaking about 5 to 7 million jobs. In India right now, it's 1/60th the contribution. It's only 5 billion, and it's 1/10 of the job. It's developing, so there is a huge potential. And let's get a little more into this potential. It's not that Indians are less interested in sports, right? They watch sports, but in many other regions, sort of a little less than half of the people who watch actually participate. When you look at India, it's only 1% of people who participate. And of these 1%, half of them feel like they don't have the proper coaches. They don't feel like the infrastructure is there to sustain their sport practice. So just on that is a huge market. The other part on the supply of worker that I want to come back to is the fact that, especially in a state like Uttar Pradesh, there is an immense reservoir of youth. But some of these youth, a third of them actually, are not in school, nor in employment, nor in training. And we know that these youth are at risk. And their human capital is at high risk of being underutilized. Sport can provide a way to re-engage them, to build some entry-level jobs, and through a proper skilling and competency building program to help them move to other careers, other engagement in the economy. So my last point is, how can the government do it? And Uttar Pradesh has done a lot already in terms of aligning the policies, of thinking in sports and in the upstreams, in the education policies, downstream, the industrial and economic policies, the governance of how to do it. We're also, as a lot of speakers mentioned, at an exciting time in India with the Khelo program, with the Fit India movement, bringing that, decentralizing that to the local level will help build partnership between communities, the private sector, and the government. And last, on the sport ecosystem, as I mentioned, it's important to take a holistic view to not only the pure sports, but all the competencies and the jobs around there. Strengthen institutions for child protection, for athletes management, providing health insurance, providing life or professional life after the podium, and fostering partnership. So the World Bank stands ready to support the government as they embark in this exciting agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
विश्व बैंक और उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार एक MOU साइन किया है कि विश्व बैंक उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार की सपोर्ट करेगा फाइनेंशियल और टेक्निकल पूरे प्रदेश में कैसे बच्चों को कैसे स्पोर्ट्स में स्कूल में कैसे बच्चों को खेलने के लिए प्रेरित किया जाए उनका इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट किया जाए
Thank you so much. Next we're calling on the stage our Vice President Global CSR HCL Foundation, Dr. Nidhi Pundir. Please welcome her with a huge round of applause.
Honorable Union Minister of Youth Affairs, Shri Anurag Ji, Minister of State, Shri Girish Ji, respected Shri Navneet Sehgal Ji, and shining stars on the stage, Abhinav and Suresh, dignitaries on dais and off dais. It's a pleasure to be sharing such a prestigious stage today, and I would give all credits to our unique program called Sports for Change under the aegis of Corporate Social Responsibility Agenda of HCL Tech through HCL Foundation, which is the CSR arm of HCL Tech. Sports for Change is a pan-India initiative, Badlav Ke Liye Khel, by HCL Foundation, where we essentially focus on children who live below poverty line in rural and urban areas. Under this program, within the ages of right to play for each child, with the dream that each child must have access to all kinds of sports, we are working with 27,000 athletes, of which 14,000 already come from the state of Uttar Pradesh. I am so glad through the MOU today, we are going to extend this support to another 5,000 children who live in extremely difficult situations in slums or in rural areas. We shall be providing state-of-the-art infrastructure, nutrition support, but more than that, the entire behavioral change and their investment in the agency and the capacity such that they come out. I would like to share a quick impact story of Kajal through a video where you can see a girl child from Uttar Pradesh, how sports can really transform and has that, you know, immense power to bring them out of poverty and bring them to a situation of opportunity and dignity. AV, please.
मेरा नाम काजल सिंह है, मैं 18 की हूँ। बास्केटबॉल मेरी लाइफ है। बास्केटबॉल मुझे मोटिवेट करता है कि हाँ मैं उनसे सबसे अलग हूँ, कि मतलब वो अगर उस चीज़ को कर सकती है तो मैं इस बास्केटबॉल के साथ साथ वो चीज़ भी कर सकती हूँ। एक्चुअली घर से लड़कियों को निकले नहीं देता, कोई भी निकलने देते ही नहीं है घर से। मुझे घर से बाहर निकलने दिया क्योंकि मैं एक गेम के थ्रू बाहर निकली हूँ। मैं कोई और चीज़ लेती तो शायद नहीं निकल पाती घर से, बट एक गेम की वजह से मैं बाहर निकली हूँ, दूसरों से मिलती हूँ, बात करती हूँ, उनके साथ खेलती हूँ। मेरा पूरा दिन एकेडमी में ही जाता है, खेलने में ही। एक स्टूडेंट के थ्रू भी, एक प्लेयर के थ्रू भी, एक कोच के थ्रू भी, हर एक फील्ड में अलग अलग मुझे सीखने को मिला है। स्टूडेंट के थ्रू ये मिला है कि कैसे पढ़ना चाहिए, कैसे नहीं। प्लेयर के थ्रू ये मिला है कि कैसे डिसिप्लिन होनी चाहिए, फर्स्ट खेलना कैसे चाहिए, टीम में कैसे होना चाहिए। कोच से मुझे ये चीज़ सीखने को मिली है कि हम दूसरों को क्या सिखा रहे हैं, उनके अंदर डिसिप्लिन है नहीं है, वो हम पे डिपेंड करता है कि हम कैसे बता रहे हैं उन्हें। पहले मैं खेलती थी, ओनली प्लेयर थी मैं ओनली। उसके बाद मैं स्टूडेंट कोच बनी। स्टूडेंट कोच के बाद अब मैं कोच हूँ। मतलब स्टेप बाय स्टेप मैंने ग्रोथ करा है इसमें। मैं चाहती हूँ कि और ग्रोथ करूँ, कुछ ना कुछ सीखती हूँ मैं।
मेरा नाम सरस्वती है, काजल की मम्मी हूँ मैं। 8 साल हो गई काजल को खेलते हुए। काजल में ये बदलाव देखो, एक तहजीब है, एक अच्छे से व्यवहार है, सबको घर में भी समझाती है। ये बोलती है मम्मा अच्छा है, मैं सीख जाऊंगी, कुछ बन जाऊंगी अपनी लाइफ में, आपकी सबकी मदद करूंगी। यहाँ पे भी औरतें कहने लगी देखो काजल कितने अच्छे से खेलती है। काजल की मम्मी ने कोई शर्म नहीं करी। काजल की सपोर्ट मैंने दी है, मेरी मम्मी ने दी है, हमने दी है। मैंने अपनी लाइफ में बहुत कठिनाइयां उठाई।
Small story of Kajal, and there are several Kajals waiting for us.
मेरे से अच्छे कामयाब।
Many mothers have dreams for girls, and our focuses will also be on para, especially because they often get left out, and we already from state of Uttar Pradesh, we have 10 para athletes who have already gone till the international levels. We have almost 32 students from state of Uttar Pradesh who are already playing national competitions, and we shall be covering football, volleyball, basketball, kabaddi, girls cricket, girls rugby and athletics, and these young players will be identified from the state of from the districts of Hardoi, Lucknow and Noida under the MOU that we are signing today. Thank you Navneet ji for this absolutely amazing initiative where you have all representatives who will make it happen. Thank you.
HCL फाउंडेशन जैसे इन्होंने बताया, ये उत्तर प्रदेश में 5,000 और बच्चों को ट्रेनिंग और न्यूट्रिशन सपोर्ट देंगे। आइए, बहुत बढ़िया, थैंक यू।
Thank you so much. Next we're calling our founder of Strand Stadia. Please welcome Mr. Udit Sheth. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Namaste, Honorable Minister Anurag ji. Namaste, Girish ji. Thank you, Navneet ji, for inviting me to this exciting summit, and I'm really delighted to be here today because we are signing a MOU with you for development of sports infrastructure in UP, not only stadiums but other facilities as well. And a warm welcome to all my colleagues and stars on the stage who really made India very proud. In Trans Stadia, what we do is we develop stadiums, we build them, we operate them, and really at the way we build it, stadiums is just an excuse, because globally, stadium utilization is less than 1% per annum. And the way we build our stadiums is we have more than 70% utilization. So recently we just concluded the national games at the stadium, and we did a lot of events, and COVID and the pandemic was very, very harsh on us. But when we looked at the data points on stadiums, we saw that we at Trans Stadia have done more events in Ahmedabad at my stadium than all other stadiums combined in India. So it's about using the right technology, it's about using the right pieces over there, and we've augmented the stadium with education. We have our own university, we have a club and a hotel, commercial and retail, so that the stadium utilization jumps up. So that's very important. But when I come for these kind of summits and I have an opportunity to speak, we all focus on investment in sport. But one of the things that people should really realize is sports is the biggest, the most exciting, the most, I would say, dynamic marketing tool that any state government has. So in fact, sports is their marketing budget and not just a sports budget. Then when we look at bringing star athletes, star events like the MotoGP or an IPL match, we get so much of happiness. When we built Trans Stadia in Ahmedabad, I'll tell you the kind of happiness that we had. We built it in an old part of Ahmedabad, and a lot of people were going to the new side of Ahmedabad. That migration stopped. The land price when I built the stadium, which was about maybe say 100 rupees, went up for 400 rupees just in the period of building the stadium. So the land price appreciates. The rentals went up by 4x in retail. So that's the kind of economic contribution that sports events, sports infrastructure actually has on the community. And more events that we can do. I think with the university coming up, we look at more than 110% utilization. We'll be fighting for the same real estate over there. And I would request the UP government that while we are investing in so many different projects and so many different opportunities, if we can connect all the dots of having leagues with high performance, with the center of excellence, with the sports schools, then you will have a full ecosystem around it. So please connect all the schemes that you actually can launch. And I'm very interested in building the hub and spoke model. We had the opportunity to look at the Varanasi stadium as well. And I thank Anurag ji for giving that opportunity for us. I think one of the things that I will request Anurag ji to think about is to see how we can take sports sector as a sunrise sector. For the next 10 years, if we can get a big push from the government of India and saying that we have better tax benefits for investment, GST, etc., then the sports sector will benefit, like the movie industry, and we can have a 10-year kind of a window around it. And just kind of coming to the point of the 30,000 playgrounds that you talked about, that alone is a $2 billion opportunity. So I think the kind of opportunity that we have, 120 defunct stadiums in India, that's a 2 lakh crore opportunity for investment and monetization. So that's a lot of jobs, a lot of employment. One of the charts that the World Bank executive put up on the thing was about jobs. But one of the key points over there which I want to highlight is that it's an equal employment opportunity. So we have more men and women equally employed in this sector. So sports is a great investment opportunity. And I'll tell you my own personal experience while I'm here today. About 3 years ago, and not many people know this, but I had a brain stroke. And I had not even one word coming out of my mouth. And it's because of my fitness, it's because of my contribution and my active participation in sport that I could recover to maybe 99%. And that's the impact of sport. So I congratulate the UP government for actually having this iconic summit and making sure that sports gets this kind of recognition. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
ये ट्रांसटेडिया हमारे साथ भी एक MOU कर रहा है, हमारे स्टेडियम्स को इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इंप्रूव करने में हमारी मदद करेगा. थैंक यू.
So thank you so much for your contribution.
PPP पर ये करेंगे, ये ट्रांसटेडिया कंपनी ये इन्वेस्ट करेंगे हमारी प्रॉपर्टीज पे. थैंक यू.
And now we're going to call Head of Political Affairs, British High Commission, Mr. Richard Barlow. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Devyo or Sajno, namaskar. मेरा नाम रिचर्ड है और मैं ब्रिटिश सरकार के अधिकारी हूँ और मैंने 2018 में काशी में हिंदी सीखी. माननीय केंद्रीय सरकार का खेल मंत्री अनुराग ठाकुर जी को, यूपी सरकार का खेल मंत्री जी को, मेरा दोस्त नवनीत सहगल जी को इस बैठक का मौके के लिए बहुत धन्यवाद. I want to start with a story about sport that unites the UK and India. It's about a woman. She's called Captain Harpreet Chand, and she's an officer in the British Army. She's 32 years old, and she's known as Pola Preet, who a year ago made history by becoming the first woman of colour to complete a solo, unsupported trek to the South Pole. And this is what Pola Preet said: "You are capable of anything you want, no matter where you are from or where your start line is. I don't want to just break the glass ceiling, I want to smash it into a million pieces." What a role model Pola Preet is. And like the other speakers, I want to praise the UP government for the emphasis you're putting on sport. We know that UP has produced some of India's most successful elite athletes. The UK is a natural partner for UP, and we stand ready to work with you to deliver your vision. I come from Manchester. I was born in Manchester. We in the UK know the power of sport. My city is known for its football, its cricket, its rugby. Sport is a national obsession in the UK. Watching, playing, and celebrating sport is at the heart of the British way of life. We have brought over 30 UK companies to the Global Investor Summit, including companies strong in the sports economy. I would like to welcome to this hall today British company Mace, specialists in sports infrastructure who helped deliver the London 2012 Olympics. Welcome, Mace. I would like to welcome LM Group, specializing in high-performance sports facilities and in delivering community programs. I want to welcome my colleague Divya Divakaran on the front row, who is our sports specialist here in the UK government, here in India. Like in UP, we are proud of our athletes. We're proud of the English football Lionesses who won the Women's Football Euros in 2022, inspiring millions of girls like my 8-year-old Sophia to play football and to show that sport is not just for men. And since that victory, women's bookings for amateur football in the UK have increased 200%. And I'll tell you something, my daughter can't go to a training session after school or in the evenings unless girls and women feel safe to attend those sessions. So I want to encourage the government of UP very much in your efforts on law and order and creating a safer environment for girls and women. We are proud of the 2022 Birmingham Commonwealth Games, and we're proud that Bharat won 61 medals. There were 8 medalists from Uttar Pradesh, who I know have been honored by Mukhyamentriji, including Priyanka Goswami, who won the silver medal in the 10-kilometer walk, Dipti Sharma of Meerut and Meghna Singh of Bijmoor, silver in women's cricket, Lalit Upadhyay of Varanasi, silver medal in hockey, and 4 bronze medalists. Well done to all of these sportsmen from Uttar Pradesh. And as a British diplomat, there is no fitting way to finish my speech than quoting Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This is what our Queen said: "Sport has a wonderful way of bringing together people and nations. When life seems hard, the courageous do not lie down and accept defeat. Instead, they are all the more determined to struggle for a better future." Dhanyavad, bahut shubhkamnaएं.
So thank you so much for that message. Next, we're going to call Mr. Gerald Prabhu, who's the Honorable Secretary of Rugby of India, on the stage to address the audience. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Honorable Union Minister of Sport, Shri Anurag Thakurji, Mr. Yadavji, Mr. Sehgal, my sports family on the dais and off the dais. It gives us great pleasure in being a part of this Global Investment Summit. Most of you wouldn't know that, know about rugby, but India is one of the oldest rugby playing nations in the world. The first game started in 1871, and the oldest cup in rugby is called the Calcutta Cup. We have progressed. It used to be an elite sport, and now currently it is a sport for the masses. And thanks to the support of the government, Shri Anurag Thakurji, we have been able to take the sport across 30 states in the country. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the support. We are very, very honored in our discussions with Mr. Sehgal. We are looking at hosting national and international tournaments at Uttar Pradesh. We've been having conversations, and as a part of the MOU that we intend to sign is to bring in technical expertise and help in promoting, teaching the sports in the schools and colleges. You know, we've heard that 56% of Uttar Pradesh population is youth, and we want to capitalize on that. You know, part of our values of rugby is women's empowerment, social transformation, much, you know, aligning with the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. We want to promote sports among women. And thank you very much on behalf of Rugby India. Thank you very much, sir, for giving us an opportunity.
उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार और रग्बी इंडिया एक MOU साइन किए हैं कि ये प्रदेश में रग्बी को और बढ़ावा देंगे.
Thank you so much. Next, we're going to call UNIV's Sport Tech, Mr. Siddharth Upadhyay, on the stage. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
धन्यवाद. भारत के तेजस्वी, यशस्वी युवा और जवान केंद्रीय खेल मंत्री श्री अनुराग सिंह ठाकुर जी, श्री यादव जी, उत्तर प्रदेश के इस खेल को बढ़ावा देने के लिए जो टीम बनी है उसकी कप्तानी करते हुए श्री नवनीत सहगल जी, डायस पे बैठे हुए मेरे मित्र, भाइयों और बहनों, आप सभी का धन्यवाद. आपने हम लोगों को मौका दिया यहाँ पे अपने आप को आके रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए. मैं वहाँ बैठे बैठे सोच रहा था कि इतनी सारी बातें हो गई हैं, इतनी अच्छी अच्छी बातें, बड़ी बड़ी बातें, इतने तेजस्वी लोग बैठे हुए हैं, मैं यहाँ जाकर क्या बात बोलूँगा. कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं है जो नहीं बोला गया, कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं जो नहीं सोचा गया, कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं जो नहीं कहा गया. लेकिन जैसा कहते हैं कि हिंदुस्तान देवताओं का देश है, चीज़ें अपने आप आसान हो जाती है. वहाँ बैठ के जब मैं अपना नाम देख रहा था तो मुझे अपना नाम 12वें नंबर पे दिखाई दिया. मैंने कहा ये तो बड़ा अच्छा हो गया भाई, ये बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट में 12th मैन बन गया और 12th मैन का काम है गैप्स को फिल करना. तो मैं यहाँ पे आपके जो 4-5 मिनट लूँगा उसमें इन गैप्स को फिल करने की बात करने जा रहा हूँ. दोस्तों, यहाँ जितनी बातें कही गई हैं, चाहे वो भारत को विश्व पटल पर नंबर 1 देश देखने की बात, चाहे वो भारत के युवाओं के द्वारा खेल के माध्यम से भारत की इकोनॉमी को आगे बढ़ाने की बात, ये सारी बातें होने जा रही हैं और ये होंगी, क्योंकि ऐसा करने के लिए सिर्फ 2 चीजों की आवश्यकता थी. हिंदुस्तान के पास सब कुछ था, सिर्फ 2 चीजें नहीं थी. वो था इंटेंट और अपॉर्चुनिटी. मित्रों, आज स्पोर्ट्स के क्षेत्र में काम करते हुए मुझे मेरी तमाम संस्थाओं के साथ लगभग 23 साल हो गए. हम 55-56 करोड़ युवाओं की बात करते हैं. मेरी संस्थाओं ने कंबाइंड 2.5-3 करोड़ युवाओं के साथ टच बेस अभी तक किया होगा. चाहे वो ग्रास रूट स्पोर्ट्स की बात हो, चाहे वो स्पोर्ट्स टेक्नोलॉजी की बात हो, चाहे वो विश्व पटल पे बच्चों को पहुंचाने की बात हो, बहुत सारी चीजें हुई, अपने आप होती चली गई. लेकिन मैं एक आपको खास बात बताना चाहता हूं. सन 2000 में हम लोगों ने अपनी संस्था शुरू की. 10, 11, 12 सालों तक चलती रही. सरकार के साथ बात होती रही, धीरे धीरे हम लोग आगे बढ़ते रहे, सभी लोगों के साथ बातचीत होती रही. फिर एक बड़ी क्यूट घटना घटी 2012 में. मैं एक नेशनल लेवल पे उभरते हुए पॉलिटिशियन से मेरी अचानक मुलाकात किसी मित्र के यहाँ हो गई और हम सब बड़े उनसे इंस्पायर हुए और मेरे पास कुछ खास बातचीत करने को था नहीं. इस युवा नेता का संबंध खेल के साथ थोड़ा बहुत था, युवाओं के साथ था, तो मैंने भी अपनी बात कह दी. और मेरी बात में थोड़ा डिस्गस्ट भी था, थोड़ा फ्रस्ट्रेशन भी था. मैंने कहा इतनी चीज़ें हो रही हैं, लोग रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रहे हैं, खेल को क्यों लोग तरजीह नहीं दे रहे हैं, या फिर खेल को क्यों लोग सामने फोरफ्रंट पे लेकर नहीं आ रहे हैं, क्या गड़बड़ है. पूरे विश्व में सारी बातें हो रही हैं. और इन्होंने एक बड़ा अच्छा मुझे फार्मूला बताया कि कैसे खेल के नैरेटिव को रीऑर्गेनाइज करना चाहिए. और उस 2012 की बात है और उस फार्मूले पे बेस्ड हम लोगों ने 1-2 साल पढ़ाई की और 2014 में हमने फिर एक प्रोग्राम लॉन्च किया. तो खैर, पहले मैं अपने प्रोग्राम के बारे में बताऊंगा. उसके पहले मैं चाहता हूं कि आप एक बार मेरी उस 2012 की जो मुलाकात थी और उसने जो एक रास्ता तैयार किया, उसके लिए जोरदार तालियों से अनुराग जी का फिर से एक बार स्वागत करें. यही वो ऊर्जावान नेता है जिनके साथ हमारी बातचीत चल रही थी और उनका एक छोटा सा आइडिया जिसने स्कूलों को, ग्रासरूट स्पोर्ट्स को, अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर को, झुग्गी झोपड़ियों को, अंडर प्रिविलेज बच्चों को एक साथ लाने का आइडिया दिया। और मजे की बात यह है कि आज ये हम सबके खेल मंत्री हैं और इन्हीं के संरक्षण में ये सारा काम आगे बढ़ रहा है और आगे बढ़ता रहेगा, न कि सिर्फ उत्तर प्रदेश में बल्कि पूरे देश में। तो मित्रों, एक हमने प्रोग्राम लॉन्च किया और भूल गए हम प्रोग्राम लॉन्च करने के, हालांकि अनुराग जी से दोबारा उसके बाद उस चीज का चर्चा नहीं हुआ। 2014 में फिर एक और धमाका हुआ, देश और पूरे विश्व को एक विश्व नेता नरेंद्र मोदी जी के रूप में मिला। खेल के प्रति अपनी और युवाओं के प्रति अपनी जो उनकी इंटेंट थी, उन्होंने बहुत ही फ्रंट फुट पे आके उसको खेला और बताया। उनके साथ, गुड ऑफिसर्स के साथ हमारी बातचीत शुरू हुई। 2016 में हमारे बनाए हुए प्रोग्राम्स की वजह से हमको खेल का जो सर्वोच्च पुरस्कार है, नेशनल अवार्ड, खेल प्रोत्साहन पुरस्कार, वो मिला। 2018 में हम लोग साई के स्पोर्ट्स कमेटी में वगैरह में आ गए, फिर सरकार के साथ नज़दीकी से काम करने का मौका मिला और 2019 में फिर उन्होंने हमारी संस्था को NSPO वगैरह। खैर, ये सिर्फ सारी बातें हैं मित्रों, ये एक समय के पहले तक थी, जब इंटेंट नहीं था, अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं थी, प्रोग्राम्स पे चर्चा हो रही थी क्या होना चाहिए, बहुत बड़ी बड़ी अंग्रेजी और ज्ञान की बातें चारों तरफ हो रही थी। ऐसे चीज़ों को नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में समावेश किया गया और उसके बाद अगर मैं फास्ट फॉरवर्ड करूं तो आज हम लोग उत्तर प्रदेश के इस अपॉर्चुनिटी जो श्री योगी आदित्यनाथ जी के संरक्षण में दी जा रही है, जो बिल्कुल शिव की तरह है, जिसको आना हो सब आओ, जिसको आना है सब आओ। अगर आपके अंदर क्षमता है, आपके अंदर प्रतिभा है, तो यहाँ सबका समावेश होगा, सबको अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलेंगी और सबको आगे किया जाएगा। तो ऐसे में हम लोगों ने भी अपने प्रोग्राम को रिकैलिब्रेट किया मित्रों। 3-4 साल का एक हाइटस था जिसमें हम पढ़ाई कर रहे थे, स्टडी कर रहे थे और वी रियलाइज्ड कि जो आने वाले 10 वर्षों के लिए ग्रासरूट स्पोर्ट्स और टेक्नोलॉजी का जो समावेश है, उसको लेके, स्पोर्ट्स की इकोनॉमी को लेके, स्पोर्ट्स को सेल्फ सस्टेनेबल बनाने के लिए, ग्रासरूट लेवल पे उसको डिसेंट्रलाइज करने के लिए हम लोग क्या करें। और ऐसे ही किसी इंटेंट के साथ यूनिव स्पोर्टाटेक का एक निर्माण हुआ, जिसकी वजह से हम लोग नवनीत जी को मिले और बहुत ही वो उन्होंने जनरस तरीके से लास्ट मोमेंट में, वो जो 12th मैन वाली बात थी वो मजाक थी, क्योंकि हम लोग बहुत ही लेट मिले और उनका बड़प्पन है कि उन्होंने बोला भाई आप आइए और जितनी बातें आप कह रहे हैं या करना जा रहे हैं उसको अनाउंस कीजिए, हम आपको पूरी तरह सपोर्ट करेंगे। तो बस उसी सपोर्ट और उसी पेट्रोनेज में काम करने के लिए, आप सभी लोगों को साथ में लेने के लिए और जिस इकोनॉमी की, जिस यूथ पावर की हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं उसको बढ़ाने के लिए हम लोग यहाँ पे हैं। और मुझे उम्मीद है कि हम लोग साथ मिलके उस भारत का निर्माण कर पाएंगे अपने अपने माध्यमों से, जिस भारत का सपना नरेंद्र मोदी जी, योगी आदित्यनाथ जी और खास करके युवा नेता श्री अनुराग सिंह ठाकुर जी देख रहे हैं। धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू सो मच सर। Now we'd be signing an MOU. Thank you so much to complete team. Now we're going to call Mr. Rushdie Warle. He's the CEO of Inspire Institute of Sports, GSW Sports. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Minister Thakur, Minister Yadav, Mr. Sehgal. We are very honored at the Inspire Institute of Sport to be entering into an MOU with the UP state government. In 2017, we opened our doors and we're currently home to roughly 300 athletes, residential athletes. And you know, over that period of time, we've been very fortunate to learn some very good lessons in terms of setting up high performance systems. We certainly hope that the lessons that we've learned there, which has led to some good success, which includes athletes at the Olympic Games, medals at the Olympic Games and Commonwealth Games, will be used to collaborate with the UP government to work and increase the portfolio of sports within the UP government, the medals that come from the UP government. We already have quite a few athletes that are based at our facility, but we believe that creating an environment within the UP state government will allow us to enhance India's foothold in the world of sport. On behalf of IAS and JSW, thank you very much.
and we look forward to working with you.
JSW बड़ी स्टील कंपनी है जिनका ये इंस्टीट्यूट है, ये हमारी रेसलिंग कुश्ती की सुविधाएं लेकर ये उसको मेंटेन करेंगे और कुश्ती को बढ़ावा देंगे उत्तर प्रदेश में। ऐसा MOU इनके साथ हम लोग साइन कर रहे हैं। अब आपको एक छोटा सा वीडियो संदेश एक आपको सुना रहे हैं। ये US के जो NBA है, बैडमिंटन उनका, बास्केटबॉल उनका जो टूर्नामेंट होता है, उसके ये बहुत बड़े प्लेयर हैं ड्वाइट हावर्ड। ये कुछ अपना ही बात रखना चाहते हैं। अभी ये वीडियो के जरिए इनकी अभी बात आएगी। वाराणसी में बास्केटबॉल एकेडमी ये शुरू करना चाहते हैं जिससे बच्चों को ट्रेन करके ये US में भी मौका दे सकते हैं। ये अभी 1 मिनट इनका वीडियो वी विल हियर, या प्लीज।
Hello all.
इनकी मदर बीमार है, ये हॉस्पिटल से इन्होंने रिकॉर्ड किया।
About the school that I had in mind for the younger generation of kids that is coming up. It was very dear and near to my heart. I am known for being a great defender, not only in the physical realm, but in the spiritual realm. As we all know that whatever happens in the physical must happen in the spiritual first. So this is why I wanted my school to be the school of defense, defending the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. All of us are divine spirits, and we all have a divine purpose. But that purpose can be stripped from us. Our purpose can be clouded by different spirits that attack the mind, the body, and the soul. And I wanted to have a school to really teach and help these kids learn and understand how to protect themselves in all areas of their lives. 360 degrees of the physical and 360 degrees of the spiritual. It is very imperative that we teach our kids this because we are living in a time of great spiritual warfare. And these kids are being tested every single day, whether that be on social media, whether that be in school, but spiritually they're being tested every day. Their eyes are being desensitized to everything that's going on around them. In this school, I wanted to make sure we teach our kids how to properly grow their own food, eat the right foods, the foods that are going to be proper to help their bodies grow in the right direction. Proper training, whether that be in the classroom with different techniques, whether that be with any type of martial arts. I believe that every child should learn how to defend themselves. And that is something that is needed in the physical and in the spiritual. But in the physical, it is definitely necessary that we start teaching our children how to defend themselves, not to go and beat someone up, but how to be disciplined enough to defend themselves. Meditation, spiritual awakening, train and master the physical body, the elements, and the spiritual body. Super important that we teach that. Basketball skills training obviously has to be there because of the sport that I play. The fundamentals of the game and the foundation of the game. Everything starts from the grassroots. So we want to be able to teach these kids that. Defensive strategies and also defensive body mechanics. These are things that are very important to teach our kids, especially at a very young age, so that as they get older and get wiser, they'll be able to use and activate more of their bodies, more of their spiritual bodies, and be able to connect with the source, which is the Most High Heavenly One. And we want to be able to teach these kids how to connect with their highest version of themselves. The world that we live in would like them to stay in the lowest state of mind, the lowest version of themselves, but we want to elevate these kids to the highest state of themselves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
And now I would request our guest of honor for this event, Minister of State Independent Charge, Sports, Youth Welfare Department, Government of Uttar Pradesh. Please welcome Shri Girish Chandra Yadav ji.
उत्तर प्रदेश ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर समिट 2023 के स्पोर्ट्स सेक्टर कार्यक्रम में हम सबका मार्गदर्शन करने के लिए और देश खेल की विधा में नए आयाम को छू रहा है, इसके मुख्य अतिथि के रूप में भारत सरकार के खेल मंत्री माननीय श्री अनुराग ठाकुर जी, मंच पर विराजमान हमारे अपर मुख्य सचिव आदरणीय नवनीत कुमार सहगल जी, स्पोर्ट्स सेक्टर में निवेश करने के लिए आए मंचासीन सभी हमारे उद्यमीगण, खेल जगत से रुचि रखने वाले, खेल को प्रोत्साहन देने वाले, उनका मार्गदर्शन करने वाले और हमारे ऐसे सभी इस कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित खिलाड़ी भाई, समाचार पत्र के संवाददातागण, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया, प्रिंट मीडिया के सभी सम्मानित नागरिकगण, मैं आज सर्वप्रथम इस इन्वेस्टर समिट में पधारे हम सबका मार्गदर्शन करने के लिए आए उत्तर प्रदेश में, मैं उत्तर प्रदेश में खेल मंत्री होने के नाते अपने हृदय की गहराई से और सरकार की ओर से माननीय अनुराग जी का बहुत ढेर सारा स्वागत करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं, वंदन करता हूं। निश्चित रूप से आपके मार्गदर्शन में जिस तरह से खेल विभाग पूरे देश में नई ऊंचाइयां छू रहा है, दुनिया में भारत का नाम हो रहा, निश्चित रूप से मैं ये कह सकता हूं कि खिलाड़ियों में आपने एक नई ऊर्जा का संचार किया है और आपके इस ऊर्जा संचार से खिलाड़ियों में एक आस जगी है। मैं आज के इस अवसर पर खेल के एक व्यक्ति के बारे में जरूर बताना चाहता हूं। महाकवि कालिदास ने अपने महाकाव्य में कहा है, कुमार संभव में लिखा है, इस बात को लिखा है कि शरीर माध्यम खलु धर्म साधनम, अर्थात शरीर कर्तव्य का पालन का साधन है। जीवन की पहली आवश्यकता, जीवन की जो पहली आवश्यकता है स्वस्थ शरीर है। अच्छे स्वास्थ्य के जो साधन है वो खेल हैं, व्यायाम है। खेलों से स्वास्थ्य ठीक रहता ही है और मनुष्य के अंदर, व्यक्ति के अंदर जो है बौद्धिक क्षमता का विकास के साथ साथ उसके शारीरिक क्षमता का विकास और देश के सेवा के समर्पण का भाव उत्पन्न होता है। खेल मानव के मन को प्रसन्न और उत्साहित बनाए रखता है। खेल में भाग लेने वाले खिलाड़ी सहिष्णुता, धैर्य और साहस, देश के समर्पण भाव के विकास के साथ काम करते हैं तथा भाईचारे की भावना भी उत्पन्न होती है। उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार प्रदेश के उदीयमान खिलाड़ियों के विकास एवं उन्नयन के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है एवं तत्पर प्रयासशील है। खिलाड़ियों हेतु अनेक योजनाएं संचालित की जा रही है जिससे वह लाभ उठाकर खेल में अपना कैरियर बना सकते हैं। मैं जिक्र करूंगा, हमारे उत्तर प्रदेश में 75 जिले हैं। 75 जिलों में जो हमारे जिला मुख्यालय हैं उन पे स्टेडियम की स्थापना करके खिलाड़ियों के लिए एक अवसर प्रदान किया है जिससे वो खेल की विधा की जानकारी सीख कर आगे बढ़ सके। और हमारे उत्तर प्रदेश में 4 ऐसे जिले थे जहां मुख्यालय पर स्टेडियम नहीं थे, वहां भी माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के कृपा से वहाँ भी स्टेडियम बनाने की स्वीकृति हो गई है। हापुड़ था, शामली था, संभल था और चंदौली था, उन जिलों को भी ये सुविधा उपलब्ध कर। उत्तर प्रदेश में 44 छात्रावास के माध्यम से 16 खेलों को विकसित करने के लिए छात्रावास का निर्माण किया है, जहां पर खिलाड़ी रहकर खेल की विधा की जानकारी प्राप्त करते हैं और उस खेल में आगे बढ़ने का काम करते हैं। उत्तर प्रदेश इतनी बड़ी आबादी का प्रदेश है और मैं तो इस बात को कहता हूं, प्रदेश आबादी के बड़े प्रदेश होने के बावजूद भी अन्य प्रदेशों में ये व्यवस्था अभी नहीं हुई है, लेकिन उत्तर प्रदेश में हमारे 3 स्पोर्ट्स कॉलेज हैं, सैफई में, गोरखपुर में, गुरु गोविंद सिंह में, जिसमें 1225 छात्र रहकर वहां अध्ययन करते हैं, खेल की विधा को सीखते हैं। दोनों काम रहकर करते हैं। उनके खाने पीने की निःशुल्क व्यवस्था, किट की व्यवस्था हमारी सरकार देती है और हमारे 3 स्पोर्ट कॉलेज अभी निर्माणाधीन है। एक फतेहपुर में, दूसरा जो है सहारनपुर में और तीसरा बलिया में। फतेहपुर निर्माण की पूरी प्रक्रिया पूर्ण हो गई है, अगले सत्र में हम उसको भी प्रारंभ कर देंगे और ये हमारे तीनों जो स्पोर्ट्स कॉलेज निर्माणाधीन बन जाने के कारण से खेल की गतिविधि खिलाड़ियों को आगे बढ़ने का मार्ग प्रशस्त करेगा और आगे बढ़ेंगे। निश्चित रूप से इस दिशा में उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने कदम उठाया। उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने अभी 2022 से 27 तक की एक खेल नीति बनाई। विगत कई वर्षों से यहाँ कोई खेल नीति बनी नहीं थी, पुरानी नीति के आधार पर चल रहा था, लेकिन माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के प्रेरणा से यहाँ उत्तर प्रदेश ने खेल नीति बनाई है और उसमें पूरा ध्यान रखकर कैसे खिलाड़ियों को हम आगे बढ़ाएंगे, उनको कैसे मूलभूत इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की जो आवश्यकता है उसको पूरा करेंगे, उस दिशा में सारी व्यवस्था सुनिश्चित किया है। यही नहीं, भारत सरकार की तर्ज पर हम लोगों ने खेल नीति में इस बात का प्राविधान किया है कि हम उत्तर प्रदेश खेल प्राधिकरण का भी गठन करेंगे। उस खेल प्राधिकरण के गठन में हमारे एग्जीक्यूट कौन करेगा, प्लानिंग कौन बनाएगा और उसके बाद फाइनेंशियल की व्यवस्था, इन 4 प्रकारों की व्यवस्था की भी उसमें रूपरेखा तैयार करी है। जल्द ही मंत्रिपरिषद की मंजूरी मिल जाने के बाद खेल नीति के साथ हम जुड़कर उत्तर प्रदेश को खेल की दिशा में आगे बढ़ाने का प्रयास करेंगे। निश्चित रूप से मैं इस बात को यहाँ कहना चाहता हूँ कि भारत सरकार के सहयोग से खेलो इंडिया खेलों के तहत वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन खेल के तहत जो है हर जो हमारे 75 जिले हैं लगभग 1 प्रशिक्षकों की नियुक्ति की जा चुकी है और इस खेलो इंडिया खेलों के माध्यम से जो हमारे प्रशिक्षकों की नियुक्ति हुई है, उत्तर प्रदेश के खिलाड़ियों को आगे बढ़ने का रास्ता मार्ग प्रशस्त करने। मित्रों, मैं इस बात की जरूर चर्चा करूंगा, उत्तर प्रदेश के खिलाड़ी जब खिलाड़ी में चाहे जिस में पार्टिसिपेट करते थे, जो उनको पुरस्कार राशि दी जाती थी, उसको भी हमारी सरकार ने, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने उसको भी बढ़ाकर लगभग 2 गुना करने का काम किया है, जिससे खिलाड़ियों में उत्साह बढ़े और नए उत्साह, नए उमंग के साथ, नए जोश के साथ हमारे खिलाड़ी खेल की विधा में आगे बढ़े, इस दिशा में कदम उठाए। मैं जिक्र करूंगा, अभी जब नेशनल गेम हो रहा, हमारे गुजरात में पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए 404 खिलाड़ी गुजरात जा रहे थे, कोचेज को लेकर 462 खिलाड़ी जा रहे थे। उस समय माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने अपने आवास पर बुलाकर उन खिलाड़ियों का मार्गदर्शन किया था, उत्साहवर्धन किया था। उसके साथ साथ खिलाड़ियों की जो मांग थी कि हम स्लीपर क्लासेज में हमको आने जाने की व्यवस्था है, उसको AC 3 में हमको व्यवस्था दी जाए और माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने वही जो है इस बात की घोषणा किया कि उत्तर प्रदेश के खिलाड़ियों को जो नेशनल गेम या अन्य गेमों में खेलने के जाते हैं, उनको उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार AC 3 टायर में जो है आने जाने की व्यवस्था देगी। इस दिशा में हमारी सरकार ने कदम उठाया। मैं जिक्र करना चाहूंगा, उत्तर प्रदेश इतनी बड़ी आबादी का प्रदेश था, लेकिन यहाँ पर जो है कोई खेल विश्वविद्यालय नहीं था। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में और देश के यशस्वी खेल मंत्री जी के कुशल निर्देशन में और माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के कुशल नेतृत्व में उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने इस बात का निर्णय किया कि मेरठ में मेजर ध्यानचंद खेल विश्वविद्यालय की स्थापना करेंगे, जैसे उत्तर प्रदेश के खिलाड़ियों को आगे बढ़ने का मार्ग प्रशस्त हो, आगे बढ़ सकें, खेल की विधा की उनकी तकनीकी जानकारी प्राप्त हो और उस दिशा में वो आगे बढ़े। और ये जो निर्माण होने जा रहा है लगभग 1000 करोड़ की लागत से ये खेल विश्वविद्यालय बनने जा रहा है। और मैं इस बात को कह सकता हूं कि उत्तर प्रदेश एक दिन खेल का हब बनेगा। और उत्तर प्रदेश अगर सबसे बड़ी आबादी का प्रदेश है तो यहाँ सबसे ज्यादा उत्तर प्रदेश के खिलाड़ी देश और प्रदेश के नाम रोशन करने के लिए निकलेंगे। इस दिशा में प्रयास सरकार ने किया। मैं जिक्र करूंगा इस बात के कि बनारस में संपूर्णानंद स्टेडियम जो भारत सरकार और स्मार्ट सिटी से दोनों के सहयोग से एक अंतरराष्ट्रीय स्टेडियम बनने जा रहा है, जो हमारे खिलाड़ियों के लिए बहुत जो है उपयोगी होगा। उनको आगे बढ़ने के लिए, आगे जाने के लिए इस दिशा में भी सरकार ने कदम उठाया है। मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा भारत सरकार के माननीय मंत्री जी को कि आपने जो हमारे स्टेडियम को, संपूर्णानंद बनारस के स्टेडियम को अंतरराष्ट्रीय स्टेडियम बनाने के लिए आपने सहयोग दिया है। इसके लिए हम उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार मंत्री होने के नाते आपको बहुत ढेर सारा साधुवाद और धन्यवाद देता हूं। दूसरी, मैं इस बात की जिक्र करूंगा, अभी बनारस में एक अंतरराष्ट्रीय स्टेडियम बनाने के लिए उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने भूमि क्रय किया है। लगभग 121 करोड़ की लागत जो भूमि क्रय करने में दिया है। बीसीसीआई के माध्यम से उनको जो है एग्रीमेंट करके और खेल की दिशा को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए उस दिशा में कदम उठाया है। निश्चित है मंत्रिपरिषद में इसकी मंजूरी मिली है। 10 लाख रुपए जो है जिला प्रोत्साहन समिति में और 10 लाख रुपए जिला कोषागार में जमा करेंगे और वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो डेवलप करेंगे बीसीसीआई उस पर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करेंगे। इस दिशा में कदम उठा। मैं जिक्र करूंगा एक चीज की और, पुराने जमाने में लोग कहते थे, गांव में इस बात को कहते थे कि खेलोगे कूदोगे तो होगे खराब और पढ़ोगे लिखोगे तो होगे नवाब। लेकिन उस परिभाषा को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने, माननीय खेल मंत्री भारत सरकार ने और उत्तर प्रदेश के यशस्वी मुख्यमंत्री जी ने बदल दिया है कि खेलोगे कूदोगे तो भी मिलेगा रोजगार। इस दिशा में कदम उठाया सरकार ने। मैं आज इस बात की जिक्र करना चाहूं, जो हमारे पदक विजेता खिलाड़ी थे पैरा ओलंपिक्स, ओलंपिक्स के, उनको जो है सरकारी नौकरी सेवा योजना में कोई व्यवस्था नहीं थी। लेकिन उत्तर प्रदेश के माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के प्रेरणा से उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने कैबिनेट में इस बात का प्रस्ताव लाई कि हम ऐसे पदक विजेता खिलाड़ी को सरकारी सेवा योजना देंगे। राजपत्रित अधिकारी क्लास 2 के पद पर सेवा योजना करेंगे। जो लोक सेवा आयोग की परिधि है, हमारी सरकार ने लोक सेवा आयोग की परिधि से बाहर करके और उनको सीधी भर्ती के माध्यम से उनको राजपत्रित अधिकारी पे पद नियुक्त करने का काम किया है। और उसमें जो है ललित उपाध्याय जी को डिप्टी एसपी के पद पर और विजय यादव को नायब तहसीलदार के पद पर समायोजन करने का काम हमारी सरकार ने किया। खिलाड़ियों में एक आस जगी है, खिलाड़ियों में एक नया उमंग हुआ आया है और निश्चित रूप से उनको आस जगी उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार की ओर, भारत सरकार की ओर। और मैं इस बात की जिक्र करूंगा, हमारा जो उत्तर प्रदेश में जो स्पोर्ट्स कोटे थे, हम लोगों ने मंत्रिमंडल संभालने के बाद इस बात का पहल किया है कि जितने भी स्पोर्ट्स कोटे हर विभाग में भरे जा रहे हैं कि नहीं है, मुझे बताते हुए प्रसन्नता है, खुशी है कि पुलिस विभाग ने विज्ञापन निकाल दिया है। वहां भर्ती की प्रक्रिया, सीधी भर्ती की प्रक्रिया प्रारंभ हो गई है। अन्य विभागों में भी प्रारंभ होगी और खिलाड़ियों को आगे बढ़ने के लिए उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार पूरी प्रतिबद्धता के साथ, पूरी ईमानदारी के साथ काम कर रही है। निश्चित रूप से उनको आगे बढ़ाने का काम कर। हमारा युवा कल्याण विभाग भी है। युवा कल्याण विभाग ग्रामीण अंचलों में काम करता है। सन 1980 से लेकर और कहा जाए 2017 तक कुल 81 स्टेडियम ग्रामीण अंचलों में बने थे। लेकिन 2017 में जब भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनी और उत्तर प्रदेश के यशस्वी मुख्यमंत्री और माननीय खेल मंत्री भारत सरकार के सहयोग से हमारी सरकार ने 41 नए स्टेडियम ग्रामीण अंचल में बनाने का काम किया है, जो खिलाड़ियों के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा उपहार है। खिलाड़ी उस विधा में जानकारी हासिल करके आगे बढ़ सकता है। ग्रामीण अंचल में हमारे जो नवयुवक मंगल दल है, महिला मंगल दल है, उनको भी हम हर जो है वर्ष जो है 15,000 ऐसे ग्राम पंचायतों को हम जो है उनको प्रोत्साहन राशि, प्रोत्साहन सामग्री देते हैं और जो खेल के लिए कि जिससे खेल की वो जानकारी प्राप्त करके और आगे बढ़ सके और उनके लिए साधन उपलब्ध कराने का काम सरकार ने किया। मैं इस अवसर पर इस बात का भी जिक्र करूंगा कि हमारे जो प्राइवेट स्कूल और हमारे जो प्राथमिक स्कूल और इंटरमीडिएट कॉलेज हैं और जो हमारे महाविद्यालय हैं या सीबीएसई आईसीएसई के बोर्ड के स्कूल हैं, हमारे खेल मंत्रालय इस बात पर विचार कर रहा है अभी कि अगर वो खेल की प्रतियोगिताओं का आयोजन कराते हैं और उनको सर्टिफिकेट देते हैं, वो उनके जीवन में खिलाड़ी के लिए उपयोगी नहीं होता, वो सिर्फ जो है प्रमाण पत्र ही रह जाता है। हम लोग इस बात का विचार कर रहे हैं। हमारी अध्यक्षता में भी एक मीटिंग माननीय ये नवनीत कुमार सहगल जी ने आयोजित किया था और वो बैठक हुई थी, हम लोग इस बात को निर्णय लिए ये विभाग जो आयोजन भी हो उसका प्रमाण पत्र जो दिया जाए खेल विभाग द्वारा दिया जाए, जिससे उस खिलाड़ी के जीवन में बदलाव के लिए वो सहायक हो सके। इस दिशा में भी हम आगे आने वाले समयों में विचार करके कदम उठाएंगे। निश्चित रूप से आज के इस अवसर पर मैं इस बात को उद्यमियों को जो निवेश करने के लिए आए हैं उनको भरोसा दिलाना चाहते हैं। उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार आपके साथ हर समय कंधे से कंधे मिलाकर साथ रहेगी। जो भी यथा सहयोग होगा पूरी सरकार आपके साथ खड़ी रहेगी। माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने इस बात को विश्वास दिलाया है कि आप जो है जो भी आपकी आवश्यकताएं होंगी, जो आपको जरूरतें होंगी, उस जरूरत को पूरा कराया जाएगा। आज के इस अवसर पर आपको भरोसा दिलाते हुए एक बार फिर से मैं माननीय मुख्य अतिथि जी का उत्तर प्रदेश की इन्वेस्टर ग्लोबल समिट में उनका बहुत ढेर सारा स्वागत, अभिनंदन, वंदन करते हुए अपनी बात को समाप्त करता हूं। जय हिंद।
मंत्री जी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अपने समय के लिए। I'm now going to call Yudhvir Singh ji, who's the UP cricket team's director. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
ये यूपी क्रिकेट एसोसिएशन वाराणसी में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्टेडियम बनाएगा। 350 करोड़ रुपए की लागत खर्च उस पर लगेगी। आज उनको ये 13 हेक्टेयर भूमि जो है जमीन है उसकी हस्तांतरण की चिट्ठी इनको दी जा रही है कि ये जमीन लें और आगे से कंस्ट्रक्शन तत्काल शुरू करें। थैंक यू युद्धवीर जी, थैंक यू यूपीसीए। लगभग 350 करोड़ की लागत से 30,000 की कैपेसिटी का अंतर्राष्ट्रीय क्रिकेट स्टेडियम वाराणसी में बनाया जाएगा, जिसकी जमीन आज कागज इनको दे दिए हैं। अब ये अपना कंस्ट्रक्शन वहां पे शुरू करेंगे।
Thank you so much. Now we'd like to call our Honorable Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India. Please welcome our chief guest, Shri Anurag Singh Thakur ji, with a huge round of applause.
Dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. Namaste. Let me first thank the government of Uttar Pradesh for taking this initiative to have this global investors meet. We have seen a lot of investors meet across the country, but no government has taken initiative to make sports sector a part of it. But it is the Uttar Pradesh who has taken the initiative and includes sports sector. When Uttar Pradesh aspires to be the $1 trillion economy, I'm sure sports has to play an important role in that also. As India is witnessing a paradigm shift in the way sports and sports persons are seen and celebrated in the country today. We have two big sports persons amongst us today, Mr. Abhinav Bindra and Suresh Raina. And I would like to say there is a widespread interest in institutional sport and investments in the field of sports in India today. This is not just in terms of performance of Indian athletes in prestigious national and international tournaments, but also in bringing global sports events to India. This scale and stature of sporting success in India could not have been possible without the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. He envisions building a solid sporting culture across the country by identifying and nurturing sports talent from the remotest corners of the country. The UP Global Investors Meet 2023 is a step in this direction. My dear friends, it will enable the Department of Sports to not only reflect on its policy, but also enable them to adequately showcase it to the public, thus providing conducive options to connect with the
investors and the industry alike. It gives me immense joy to see Olympic gold medalist and shooter Mr. Abhinav Bindra, celebrated cricketer and the part of the World Cup team Mr. Suresh Raina, Chief Strategy Officer Dorna MotoGP Mr. Carlos, founder of the Trans Stadium Mr. Udit Seth, and founder of the Fan Code Mr. Yannick Kolako, and from the World Bank Ms. Benedict, and Mr. Paul V. Jensen from the European Business and Technology Center, gathered here to have an invigorating dialogue on the extremely pertinent subject, harnessing opportunities in sports sector. Uttar Pradesh is steadily becoming a hub of sports in India. In a mega event in 2021, the UP government has felicitated the Tokyo Olympics medalist. And they have not only felicitated the Tokyo Olympic medalist, but let me put it on record here today that it was the initiative of Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Shri Yogi Adityanath ji, and UP was perhaps the first state to shower so much of respect and monetary awards and affection on the players of other states as well. अपने राज्य के खिलाड़ियों को तो सम्मानित करने का काम हर राज्य करता होगा, लेकिन उत्तर प्रदेश ने देश के सभी राज्य के खिलाड़ियों को जिन्होंने ओलंपिक्स पैरालंपिक्स में मेडल जीते उनको सम्मानित करने का काम किया। इसके लिए उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार को मैं बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं। And to provide access to the sports facilities to the rural dwellers, the state government has been building open gymnasiums and mini stadiums in remote rural hinterlands. In 2021, taking forward the motto of Khelo India, the Uttar Pradesh government had announced that the state will be adopting 2 games, wrestling and badminton, and financing their promotion in the state for the next 10 years. And if every state pick up 2 games at least, 2 sports at least, I think they can focus much on those 2, while they can develop the other sports as well. But if they focus majorly on 2 sports, and 36 states and union territories, if they focus, each state focus on 2 sports, I think that could be a game changer, creating such infrastructure in other parts of the country. So UP is all set to host 3 major tournaments this year. One is the MotoGP, Khelo India University Games, and the weightlifting World Championship here as well. With all this and more, I am confident that the seed of sporting success are being sowed in Uttar Pradesh slowly and steadily. The state is building a strong foundation to ensure our athletes participate and win medals for the country. In order to realize Prime Minister Modi's Sankalp or the vision, Sankalp se Siddhi in sports, there is a whopping 11% increase in the budget allocation from the last year. And if you look at the last 8 years, the budget has gone 3 times more in the last 8 years with the Government of India. India has seen an astounding medal galore in the several international sporting events like the Tokyo Olympics, Tokyo Paralympics, and the Brazil Deaf Olympics. India, in the last 73 years, for the first time won the gold medal in the Thomas Cup Badminton Championship. Not only that, it was the Prime Minister Modi who is time and again before the tournament, even while during the tournament, if need be, speaks to the players, motivate them when they are down. And I think I have seen him. He knows each and every player. He knows many players' family members also. And while his tenure as the Chief Minister of the Gujarat, he has put a lot of emphasis on the promotion of the game, whether from Olympics to the Paralympic Games, which have been, we haven't seen much as far as the state of Gujarat in those years, but Prime Minister Modi raised the budget, started Khel Mahakumbh. Today I see more than 200 MPs organizing such events in their constituencies where lakhs of Indian youth are participating in such sporting events. If every elected representative start doing one or other kind of events, we could see millions of Indians, especially the athlete performing in those or participating in those events, competitions and championships. So we can have more such competitions in the future. Khelo India Abhiyan is the initiative of Prime Minister Modi. Khelo India Youth Games, Khelo India University Games and the Khelo India Winter Games. Yesterday, we inaugurated the Khelo India Winter Games, where from 29 states and union territories, 1500 plus players are participating in Gulmarg, Jammu and Kashmir. Yesterday also we have concluded the Khelo India Youth Games, where more than 5,812 players participated and 12 players broke 25 national records in the Khelo India Games this year. And I'm pleased to say, last year when Haryana organized the Khelo India Youth Games, 12 national records were broken and this year 25 national records are broken. Out of 12 last year, 11 national records were broken by the girls. बेटियों ने 11 national record तोड़े थे. And this year, out of 25, more than 19 records are broken by the girls. So that means बेटी और बेटियां ज़्यादा अच्छा वहाँ पर प्रदर्शन कर पा रही हैं. कुछ बातें मुझे यहाँ पर जरूर बतानी है. And I like to say it in English so that all will understand. One of the gold medal winner is Sonam. Her father is a brick-kiln laborer. She hails from a far-flung area and she has won the gold medal in the 2000 meter steeplechase. Shanti Viswas, her father is a cab driver. She hails from West Bengal, Nadia village, which is on the border of Bangladesh. She won 3 medals, including 2 gold medals. Another is Asha Kiran Barla. She is among the 4 children. She lost her father. Her mother is the only bread earner in the family. She is a laborer. And look at her, how she has worked well, progressed well. She has won the gold medal in 1500 meter event. So one after another, our girls have done extremely well. Martina Devi, who is getting trained at the National Center of Excellence here in Lucknow itself, has won 7 medals and broken 7 national records this year also. ग्रामीण भारत के बच्चों ने ज़्यादा अच्छा करके दिखाया है. It is from the rural India, from the children and the players who have done extremely well. So what do we need? We need infrastructure in the urban areas as well as in the rural areas. We need more events, competitions and leagues in the country today. We need more coaches and trainers. And for a country as diverse as India, we need different models. One model can't fit all. For a state like Uttar Pradesh, where you have 250 million people living in Uttar Pradesh, you can understand the requirement of Uttar Pradesh. So on one hand, we have the MotoGP. On the other hand, we have the Formula E, which we concluded yesterday in Hyderabad. MotoGP will happen in the state of Uttar Pradesh. At the same time, we have traditional games like Malkham, Yogasana, Kalaripattu, Thangta, Gatka also making news in the country. We are also promoting the traditional sports, not leaving it just the regional sports, making them national, and in the future they'll become the international sports in the coming years as well. So friends, what we need today is the size and scale to attract more investment into the country. And while we get more investment, we also need to increase the speed to deliver the infrastructure at the grassroots level. We shouldn't take more than, as of now, we are taking 2 to 3 years to build an indoor stadium. I was looking at the record. It takes more than 24 to 30 months to build a 8 crore rupees worth indoor stadium. It should be finished in 10 months' time. It should be dedicated to the sports person in the least time. And we are working towards that direction. Sports is a state subject. I think the states and center should come together and generate a demand that in this year we need these many hockey astroturf, these many synthetic track, these many football astroturfs, these many indoor stadiums. Then the industry will be keen to have the plants installed here, make in India facilities here, and we can do it together from health department to the education department, various other departments are also building infrastructure. If all can come together and show the world that this is the demand, that this is the requirement of the country, I'm sure more and more investors will come and invest in India and we can have better infrastructure here. We can also look at the PPP model, what Udit has mentioned here, and he has delivered in the state of Gujarat at Ahmedabad. What we have seen, we create large infrastructure, but they're not put to use 365 days a year. There should be more events happening around the year, whether it is the sports events, cultural events, or some other events. They should become the revenue model for the country. And that should be, और उसमें मीडिया का मैं जो थोड़ा सा कहना चाहता हूँ, उसमें कोई नेगेटिव न्यूज़ नहीं बननी चाहिए कि अच्छा ही तो खेल की सुविधा थी, यहाँ पे कल्चरल प्रोग्राम क्यों हो रहा है. To make it more sustainable, it is very important to raise funds through those big facilities what we have created. Not only that, we need more coaches in the country. When I took over as the sports minister, we made a change. Rather than appointing more officers, we have surrendered those posts and I've hired more than 450 coaches in 1 year time. And we're going to hire more coaches in the next years to make more coaches available to them. But for a country like India, when the World Bank representative is here, we sent a note to the World Bank. Why can't we have something on the technology based? Coaching the coach, training the trainer kind of programs, where we can train thousands and thousands of coaches. From a physical education teacher, why can't they become a coach of one sport? They can easily become, and last year we started with the National Institute of Physical Education, Gwalior LNIP. We started an online course. We have trained many such physical education teachers. We have upgraded them to the next level. But then there should be a refresher course every year. We can come together, various disciplines, various sports can come together, and we can have the online platform where we can coach them. Same kind of application can be made for the players as well, where they can learn the basic techniques on the online platform. There are certain platforms available, but for each game, we need to have such kind of options available. We should host more events, but we should also either you stream that on the online platforms or on the linear platforms like television. All a sports person need is a recognition, whether through the newspapers, through the TV channels, through the social programs, or maybe on the online streaming processes. All we can do is come together and make it happen. There are many games from fencing to golfing where our teams, our players have started doing better. Let us not restrict ourselves to few games. We need to look at more games. We need to have a larger base with more players to win medals in the future. India has done well in the past, whether it was the Tokyo Olympics, Paralympics, Deaf Olympics, to the Thomas Cup, to the Commonwealth Games, where we have won 22 golds and 61 medals. Not only that, we have also hosted FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, Football World Cup, 44th FIDE Chess Championship, Chess Olympiad, and many other such tournaments, and we are ready to host many such tournaments in the future also. In the end, let me thank Mr. Girish Chandra Yadav ji, the Honorable Sports Minister, Mr. Navneet Sehgal, the Additional Chief Secretary, Uttar Pradesh, and also the Honorable Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath for including sports sector in the global investor meets. No other state has done and included the sports sector. And we have seen how the corporates have come forward, how the World Bank has come forward, how the companies have come forward to utilize their corporate social responsibility funds like the HCL to train 5,000 students in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Let us join hands. There are 5 stakeholders. One is the Government of India, second is the state governments, third is the National Sports Federation, and fourth is the State Sports Association, and fifth is the corporate world, individuals, NGOs. They must come forward and contribute to make India a sporting superpower, what Narendra Modi desires India to become. If India can become from 10th largest economy to the 5th largest economy of the world, yes, we can become the sporting superpower of the world. All we need to do is believe in ourselves and put in all efforts. There should be the right intent, and there should be, let us work on the size and scale to promote the sports, and let us also work on the speed to deliver fast and achieve fast. Thank you once again. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Uttar Pradesh.
I am honored to be a part of this.
We'll have a group photograph. Photo.
Yes.
Yeah. Aye, sir.
Can we have the speakers on the stage,
Yeah,
please? I would
please
request Mr. Siddharth,
Yes,
Mr. Jared Prabhu, Mr. Richard,
Yeah,
Mr.
please
Rushdi.
Please join in.
And another thing, since we have the bleed blue champion right here, Mr. Raina, with us, so we'd request Mr. Raina if you could ask everybody for a selfie wherein we could actually promote the sports and be a part of this Investors Summit, the best thing that we're doing here. We're yet to give us the ODOP gifts. I would request everybody to please stay off the stage. I would request everyone to please stay off the stage. We're ready to give our esteemed guests the ODOP gifts. I would request everyone to please get off the stage.
Please vacate the stage, please. Please stage. We are going for the next session, that is session on education policy. Please vacate the stage. We are already 1 hour and 15 minutes late. यार नहीं हो पाएगा, हट जाओ। कुछ नहीं खाया तो ले जाओ ना उनको तुम। अमिताभ जी, प्लीज।
उत्तर प्रदेश में निवेश को बढ़ावा देने के लिए प्रदेश सरकार द्वारा उत्तर प्रदेश ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर्स समिट 2023 का आयोजन 10 से 12 फरवरी 2023 के बीच लखनऊ में किया जा रहा है। ये 3 दिवसीय इन्वेस्टर्स समिट सामूहिक रूप से व्यापार के अवसरों का पता लगाने और साझेदारी बनाने के लिए दुनिया भर के नीति निर्माताओं, कॉर्पोरेट नेताओं, व्यापार प्रतिनिधि मंडलों, शिक्षाविदों